So let me tell you a story of absolute insanity and why people despise woke culture. It's not that they're hating it, like they're despising it to the point where they're saying no, enough. And in order to understand that, you gotta know how we got to this point. Like, how do we get to the point where a small indie game is becoming popular, is promoted by Asmongold, and the people associated with the production, they're like, no, we don't want money. Just go away. We don't want money. How do you get to this point? So apparently there's like this fringe indie game that, was doing but most people didn't know about it. So a Japanese artist decides to draw a character from that video game in a lewd setting. Now, immediately this draws the ire from Twitter. Now, what you need to understand is that on the surface, it would seem that the people on Twitter are upset because of lewdness. That they have moral values, right? Like leftist people, okay? No, leftist people have moral values. And they find the art disgusting. They find the art disturbing. And they're praying to Jesus that the artist from Japan is going to convert and that he's going to stop drawing this nonsense. That's on the surface, right? That's if you're an imbecile and you're willing enough to buy the bullshit that people on Twitter are actually upset about femininity. No, the reality is that the people on Twitter, they are part of the inclusivity ideology, right? The representation, the inclusivity. So their art has to look like shit. And it has to look like shit because of ideology. And it's also the fact that they don't care about artists. Like, if you're a good artist, but you're not promoting the speech that they want, they will cancel you. So what happens is when an artist from another country draws something better than them, that's competition. Like, think about a company that reacts to a different company that puts on a good product. Like, they will use any tactic imaginable to get that company off the market. So this is why they were harassing the Japanese developer. It's not like they're not using internet and haven't seen lewd characters before. It's not like if you don't go on their own timeline, you're not going to see a lot of furry paraphernalia and diapers and other disturbing stuff. Right? It's just that on the surface, they want to pretend that they don't like lewdness. In reality, they hate femininity. That's their main problem. There's a lot of people that don't like lewdness. There's a lot of people that genuinely do not like to see female characters in bikinis. But that's not it. That's not the reason. The reason is that they also hate heteronormativity and femininity. So if the Japanese artist would have drawn like some Tumblr shit, or if he would have drawn some, the character and it made it more queer, made it more in line with inclusivity, no one would have complained. Even if the character was naked. Even if the character was in an actual pornographic setting, they wouldn't have complained. But because the character looks in the shape of an attractive Venus-like Roman statue, that's what pisses them off, right? So it's the male gaze that they have a problem with. And, the hypocrisy is what pisses people off, because, like, you go on Twitter and you know why they're doing it. You're at this point, you're aware of why the criticism. So a lot of people want to stick it to them. And it's like, how do they stick it to them? Well, they buy the game. They promote the game. They talk about the game. Oh, this pisses you off? Great, I'm going to advertise it. Not my cup of tea, not something that I enjoy, but I'm definitely going to make sure that this indie developer gets heard. Because you bullied a Japanese artist, you sick fuck. That is the mentality that people have. This is why they're doing it. A lot of people aren't even into this stuff. But again, it's just to upset the woke. It's to own the woke. It's literally like that. It's 2024. The culture has shifted. If you're on that side, just know that there's 10 people willing to know what pisses you off just so they can do it. And you don't have to agree with me. This is reality. Okay? It's the Bud Light effect. But anyway, Asmongold hears about this game. He makes a video. And as you can see, like, this is a channel with 3 million subscribers. Like, his video is getting a lot of upvotes. I don't know how many views he's got, but probably over 200,000. So you have, like, someone associated with the production saying that this is making him sick to his stomach. Being on Twitter is going to be unbelievably painful from now on, and I don't have the energy for this. And people are bewildered. Like, in what world does this make sense, right? Like, nothing Asmongold said was an attack at the game developers. Nothing that he said was an attack on anyone. So why is that someone associated with the production is saying something so vile? He's not like, oh, we thank Asmongold. Like, he's not even being polite, right? Like, he's not even being professional. He's not being, I disagree with Asmongold takes, and I don't like the fact that he promoted my game. Or, thank Asmongold for promoting my game, but I really disagree with your take. If he said something like that, if he was actually civilized, I guarantee to you he wouldn't get the backlash that he's getting now. Because that's what I would say. If Vosh were to promote my game, probably I would just take the promotion. But, if let's say I have something against, no, in fact, I would be, pressured to disavow for some reason. I would say, I appreciate Vosh promoting our game, and I like the fact that he enjoyed it. However, this doesn't mean that I agree with his takes. That's it. You say that, you're good to go. But why didn't he say that? And there's several reasons. The first reason is that, as people are claiming now, it's a mental illness. And, some people are so knee-deep into an ideology, they're so fanatical in their ideology, that it is possible. Like, this guy is ideologically possessed, and he generally goes on the internet to hate other people that disagree with his ideology. Like, religious fanaticism has existed throughout human history. So there is one possibility that maybe he is ideologically possessed. I doubt it, though. I got my reasons, because these people, when they're, you're talking about this higher up in a company, it's kind of difficult to get there if you're ideologically possessed. Not impossible, but he just doesn't fit the MO. I got, the vibes. I got the juju. He doesn't seem to me as a person that's ideologically possessed. So the question is, why then? What other reasons could there be? And the other reason is that he is more afraid of his friends than he is afraid of the customers. He is absolutely terrified. He lives a life of fear from his friends. And this is the reality of many people that associated themselves with social justice and eventually ended up in 2024 associating themselves with woke. They live in constant fear. They're terrorized by their friends, by their allies. Why? Because the moment they say something that's not okay, the moment they do something that's not okay, they can lose everything. It's not just getting fired from the job or getting fired from the project, but they're losing. It's kind of like a cult. People just stop talking to you. They stop inviting you to business deals. They stop inviting you to parties. They stop trying to associate with you. And so you're losing business opportunities. You're facing financial ruination, and you gotta you have to come out and strongly disavow Asmongold, even if it's you're making a financial calculation. It's how much is this game worth versus how much money do I gain if I maintain my circle of friends. They don't have any other friends. They don't know anyone. They're afraid, and the fear is justifiable because you can get blacklisted from the industry. And people who have corporate aspirations and they want to climb the corporate ladder, they gotta play ball. And this is why you see so many people that make these decisions that on the surface makes absolutely no sense. It's why though? Why would you come out and disavow making money? Right? The people promoting your game, they're not attacking anyone, they're not hurting anyone, they're literally just promoting your game, but you're going out of your way. And this actually happened to another game. It happened to Trench Crusader, it happened to many other games. And it just doesn't make sense on the surface. But then you realize it's no, they're making a cost analysis. And the reality is that the gatekeepers, a lot of them are woke. Now, the good news is that just like in 2016, there were a lot of social justice activists that were gatekept from getting power. Now there's a lot of Chads that are being gatekept from getting power. But there's so many Chads that it's impossible to operate businesses without starting to hire them. And at some point, those Chads are going to get into positions of power and they're going to remember this. They're going to remember the hypocrisy. It's like, oh, you're going to pretend you don't like lewd art, but in reality you just don't like heteronormativity and you don't like the male gaze, so you're being spiteful towards the people that do. You're hating people simply because they were born that way. They were born to find the elfu attractive, and you hate them for it. And you're insulting them, and you're lying to them, and you're trying to manipulate them. Yeah, they're going to remember this shit. And eventually they're going to get in positions of power, and they're going to make the hirings and the firings. And then you're going to cry about it. And you're going to be like, V, why are you supporting this? I thought you're against it. And we'll see what conversation we're going to have then. But let me know what you think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.